Good morning, my dear students. Again, your Sarita ma'am is here again with e-learning initiative taken by our Cambridge International School, the SUA. So, as we know, we all are suffering with this COVID-19 pandemic in the whole world, but we are here to help you out regarding your studies in this tough situation. So let's now again do the revision part in your e-learning initiative. So as we have your exam on 25th, so let's study this again chapter in the third part. So let's begin with some of the topics which we have already covered, but there are few topics that are left in your revision part. So let's see what we're going to cover today. So we are going to learn about chapter development, and we are going to revise this chapter. So your grade is 10 and the subject is economics, and my name is Ms. Sarita Sani. So I'm here to explain this chapter again in the third part. So topics which we are going to cover today is first is BMI numericals we have already done. But today I am going to make you revise again with the formula, and then I'll give you this BMI numericals in the revision worksheet in this week. So you'll be getting that on Saturday. So let me begin with next topic, also human development report. This also we have covered when we talked about national development. So what is national development according to human development report? We will talk about this. Then is human development index, HDI. I have written it as HDI so that you will listen it very carefully, and then we are going to learn about this HDI, what is that and who prepares that, and what are the parameters or components of HDI. We will learn about this. Then is sustainability of development. This is a wider topic, and many times BSc asks question related to this topic. So in like light of this topic, we are going to learn the difference between renewable and non-renewable resources. So these topics we are going to cover for today. So five main important topics, and little bit more topics are there which we are going to discuss today. So in the last we will have the questions to be done for today, so that we will discuss. Now we will move to the next site. So, in the next slide, we will talk about BMI, so body mass index. This topic is given in your book on page number, that is 13. So, we have already done in detail. So, how we are going to find out the person is undernourished, person is underweight or overweight. So, there is a formula that is called body mass index formula. So, in this slide, we are going to learn about this formula. So, body mass index is always equal to weight, we are going to take it in kg, and height in meter square. So height we are going to take twice that, also in meters. So this is the formula how we are calculating the BMI. So I'll just discuss more with this when we are going to learn about the numericals of BMI and national income. We'll learn more in the weekend exercise, and even I'll just send you video related to that, how we have to solve the national income and BMI. So let's now begin with the who are underweight and who are overweight according to the BMI calculation. So BMI, body mass index, when you're getting the value of BMI is equal to or more than 25, so then the person is overweight. That means the person needs to do exercise and try to maintain his body mass index. So body mass index is better, we can say, if it is between 18.5. If it is between, that means the range is from 18.5 uh, to below 25, so then that person is fit and fine according to the BMI calculations. Now for underweight, so if BMI is equal to or less than 18.5, in that case the person is undernourished or underweight. That means the person is might be suffering with malnutrition. Now when we talk about the next thing, that is, now let's move to the next thing. So what we are going to learn now, let's see. So next is Human Development Report. This is mentioned again on the page number 13. So this page number 13 is very, very important because questions can be asked out of all the topics which they have mentioned in the form of pictures. So this is going to be the second picture on page number 13 on the right hand side. So let me discuss what is Human Development Report. So it has got definition of national developments. We will discuss that also with this. So once it is realized that even though the level of income is important, so what was World Development Report? That was based on per capita income. So they are talking about this only. So yet it is an inadequate measure of the level of development. So we call it as it is inadequate measure because sometimes the population is different in different country, and with that we are not considering it as the proper parameter to judge the development of the country. Now we begin to think of other criterion. So other criterion is based on this Human Development Report. So there could be a long list of such criterion, but then it would not be so useful. So we have got many criteria, so we can just take it as national net attendance ratio. We can talk about gross enrollment ratio. We can talk about life expectancy. We can talk about literacy rate. So many other factors are there on which we can consider the country is developed or not developed. So previously we were taking only income as the main criteria, in which we were talking the countries were rich and poor. Now when we are talking about this, what we need is small number of the most important things. So what we need, small number of important things. So we need few factors which are determining the development, such as the ones we used in comparison of Kerala and Maharashtra are among them. So we used that parameter when we were talking about this public facilities. So this is also the parameter which we are talking now. So over the past decade, so पिछले 10 सालों में, decade means last 10 years. So from past 10 years, so or so have came to be widely used along with income as a measure of development. So what they are telling you, पिछले 10 सालों में क्या हुआ है कि उन्होंने क्या किया है, दे हैव गॉट इनकम जो है उसको मेन मेजर ऑफ मेजरिंग द डेवलपमेंट लेके चल रहे थे. ठीक है. फॉर इंस्टेंस अब क्या हुआ, ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट रिपोर्ट जब पब्लिश हुई 2014 में, सो इन दैट रिपोर्ट वुड दे हैव मेंशन, सो उन्होंने कहा कंपेयर्स पब्लिश्ड बाय, किसने पब्लिश करी थी, यूएनडीपी ने. सो पब्लिश्ड बाय यूएनडीपी कंपेयर्स कंट्रीज बेस्ड ऑन एजुकेशन लेवल. हर कंट्री के लोगों का एजुकेशन लेवल कैसा है, so they are taking that as a consideration. Then their health status. So what is the health status of the country? So if we compare India and America, or if we can compare Canada, so both America and Canada have better health status as compared to India. So this is the second criteria for measuring the countries on the basis of development. Next thing is per capita income. It would be interesting to look at certain relevant data regarding India and its neighbors from Human Development Report 2014. So this is now they are talking about कि ह्यूमन डेवलपमेंट रिपोर्ट में हमें 3 चीजें चाहिए. कौन सी? अब जो था पहले था पर कैपिटा इनकम, यहाँ पे पर कैपिटा इनकम भी उसके साथ 2 चीजें और ली हैं. Another thing is education level and the health status. So this is what the Human Development Report talk about national development. Now let's move to the next topic, that Human Development Index. So this is the last topic on page number 13. That is also very, very important. So here you can see the first thing which we have to learn in the notes part. See after table 1.6 notes part. So they have mentioned the first, that is HDI. So HDI stands for Human Development Index. HDI ranks in above table are out of 187 countries in all. This 187 countries has like this number has changed now. So the latest they have not mentioned in the book. So but in the new books we will be getting the new one even. I'll discuss that later on with you. Then is life expectancy. So life expectancy at birth denotes, as the name suggests, average expected length of life of a person. मैं अगर अपनी लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी लो तो मैं ये मान के चलूंगी कितना एक बंदा कितने मेरे जन्म से लेके मैं कितनी और साल जी सकूंगी. सो दैट इज माई लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी. सो इट इज सिमिलर फॉर एवरीवन हु इज अलाइव एंड हु हैव टेकन बर्थ. सो जिसको हम लेके चलते हैं, जो प्रेजेंट है आपकी लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी वो चल रही है 68 ईयर्स तक. ठीक है. सो दैट इज improving day by day, but because of this COVID-19, I guess that is also having impact on the life expectancy of the people. Now, per capita income is calculated in dollars. Mainly, our US dollar is the main criteria when we are judging any country is developed or not developed. Previously, we were taking the local currencies of the countries into consideration while determining the national development. But nowadays we are just taking US dollar as the basis for all countries, whether they are developed or not developed, as the criteria says. So it is done in a way so that every dollar would buy the same amount of goods and services in any country. So US dollar is the commonly accepted currency in the all over the world. So if we have to just talk about सबको एक level पे लेके आए फिर उसको compare करें, so that would be possible with the US dollar. So this is what they have mentioned. Now you can see the HDI ranking index. So India is having HDI rank. You can see in 2013 it was 135 for India, and Sri Lanka even is like having top ranking as compared to India, that is 73. So Sri Lanka is not a very big country but small country, but Sri Lanka is doing better in as compared to India. So in the terms of life expectancy, no, not in the terms of life expectancy. Yes, in the terms of life expectancy and in the terms of literacy rate. So even the national income of even country Sri Lanka is better. So that is why the HDI ranking as compared to India and Sri Lanka is having better HDI ranking. Now, Sri Lanka's, they have mentioned national income is 9250 US dollar. They have mentioned this. So per capita, that means 1 year they are going to earn this much. And India has, as compared to this, 5150, that is 51,150 US dollar. So this is the India's per capita income, gross national income. So life expectancy in India, they have mentioned 66.4, updated was 67.8, that I said 68 years approximately. So, but in Sri Lanka, they have 74.3, approximately it is 74 years. So that is better even compared to India. Then is literacy rate, maximum population in Sri Lanka is educated. You can say 91.2%. It is almost above 90%. So the people in Sri Lanka are educated, but in India you can see 62.8. So updated is like 72% of the population is in India is more educated. So I've checked this data in the last month. So I'm just detailing that one now. So this is about HDI ranking. So HDI ranking is always giving countries on the basis of three criteria we have done: national income, per capita income, that we call it as, then life expectancy and literacy rate. So three criteria are covered here. So now let's move to the next. That is sustainability. So sustainability is a very important term. This we have already discussed. The regular process without harming the productivity of future generation and satisfy the need of present generation. Now, if I take the example of someone, yes, if I take the example of Mr. X, so we can say he has to think of his progress but without harming the productivity of his future generation, and he has to satisfy the needs of himself now. So you can think now, this is COVID-19 situation. So if somebody, Mr. X, is arranging like food or any of the material for himself or earning money for himself, so he need to satisfy himself and he need to save for future even. So अगर वो सोचता है वो फ्यूचर में जाके शादी करेगा, उसके बच्चे होंगे, तो उनके लिए भी तो उसको सेव करना पड़ेगा ना. So if he is saving the resources for the future generation, and now even thinking to satisfy his own present generation needs. So we call this process as sustainability. So what we call it as? This we call it as sustainability. So now, the next topic related to sustainability again is a very important one. This question was asked many times in the CPSC exam. So this can be, sometimes they are asking sustainable economic development. So sometimes they are just simply asking sustainable development. So development without damaging surroundings, or we can say the environment. So damaging, or we can say the word harming. So you can use many synonyms for these words. So but the simple thing is, development without damaging surroundings is called sustainable development. जब हम अपने आसपास की surroundings environment को खराब नहीं करते और अपने development की सोच रखते हैं, तो we call that as sustainable development. अब इसके features क्या है? Let's talk about this features. So it stresses meeting the needs of the present generation and future generations. The main thing is, we have to think about the satisfying of needs for the present generation, as well as we have to say for the future generations. So this is the most important feature of this sustainable development. Now next thing is, there should be restraints on wasteful luxurious consumption pattern. So हमें क्या करना है? We need to stop, we need to put restrictions on the people who are doing wasteful efforts with their luxurious consumption pattern. We need to stop them. So we need to save our resources for the future generation even. So we need to use the resources in optimum manner. So this is what they're telling. Next thing is, efforts should be made to invent environment friendly technology. So we should always use eco-friendly technology, so that we are not able to disturb our ecological balance. So this is very, very important thing here. So sustainable development is effort. We need to make efforts should be made to invent environment friendly technology. So we should always think of environment friendly technology. I can give you example for this. Like government is banning this use of polythene bags or plastic bags. So this is all because we are just moving towards environment friendly technology. So we are using nowadays we are using the like jute bags. So all these are like disposable, and these are always like we can say decompose easily in the nature, so it will not disturb our ecological balance. So this should be like adopted according to, if we are thinking of sustainable development. Next is, fast growing population should be effectively checked. So we should take proper family planning. So we should always check the population growth. So this can be also helpful for our sustainable development. Now let's move to the next topic, that is environmental sustainability. So this is again related to sustainability. So it implies that the production of goods and services in a country does not involve any permanent damage to environmental resources. So हमें कुछ भी प्रोड्यूस करना है कंट्री में, चाहे गुड्स करनी है, चाहे वो सर्विसेज करनी है प्रोड्यूस, सो इस तरह से करनी है सो दैट हमारे एनवायरनमेंट के जो रिसोर्सेज है वो परमानेंटली खत्म ना हो जाए, डिप्लीट ना हो जाए. So we should not thinking of extension of our resources. Fine. So this is what they're talking about. Now next thing is difference between renewable and non-renewable resources. So this is the last topic of your chapter we are going to discuss. So renewable resources. Renewable resources, you might have learned in economics as well as in geography. So let's continue again. This will be useful for both the subjects. So renewable resources. These resources are renewed and replenished by nature in a short span of time. So these are the resources which we can produce in the nearby time period. So it will not finish it in very like early time. Next is non-renewable resources. These are the resources may not be replenished by nature, or replenish means दोबारा से बनना, ठीक है, यहाँ पे ये दोबारा से नेचर से नहीं बनते हैं एंड टेक वेरी लॉन्ग जियोलॉजिकल टाइम टू बी फॉर्म्ड अगेन। तो इसके लिए अगर बनने भी है तो इसको काफी साल लग जाएंगे, कितना जियोलॉजिकल ईयर्स लग जाएंगे, टाइम लग जाएगा फॉर प्रोड्यूसिंग दिस। So next thing is often these are available continuously like solar energy, water, etc. So example of renewable resources are solar energy and water, etc. When we talk about this non-renewable resources, these resources are exhausted after use. So एक बार यूज किया उसके बाद वो फिनिश हो गया। पेट्रोल है तो पेट्रोल को एक बार डाला तो वो फिनिश हो जाएगा, उसके बाद रिप्लेनिश नहीं हो जाएगा। पानी को एक बार ही हमने जो है लाइक वो स्टीम की फॉर्म में चला गया, जो लाइक वी आर यूजिंग इट for many times, so it can be replenished again. ठीक है, so this is possible with water but this is not possible with petrol or this fossil fuels. Fine, so this is what we have to discuss. Next thing is renewable resources can be divided into continuous or flow. So we can divide it into continuous or flow means हम इसको continuous flow में रखते हैं, ठीक है। बट नॉन रिन्यूएबल रिसोर्सेज में हम लोग क्या कहते हैं, ये रिसाइकलेबल नहीं है, दोबारा से रिसाइकल नहीं हो सकते, नॉन रिसाइकलेबल है। सो दिस इज लास्ट थिंग दैट आई हैव टू टॉक अबाउट regarding this chapter. So in the end I would discuss with you numericals of BMI as well as national income. So we will do at least 5 numericals for BMI and 5 numericals for national income, so that I would do it in detail with you. Now in the end we have the questions to be done. So the first question is, give the full form of BMI. How can we calculate it? Calculate BMI. So you have to calculate that one. Then what is national development according to human development report that I've discussed with you? You have to give the answer for this. Then what is human development and who has prepared it? This we have already covered. Write about basic components of human development. This you all also have to talk about on the page number 13, which I've discussed the last topic. So then is define sustainability in detail. You have to explain that one. Then sustainable development, features of sustainable development I've discussed with you in all the slides. Then is defines environmental sustainability, and in the last we have to discuss about difference between renewable and non-renewable resources. So in the end I would thank you. God bless you. Enjoy learning at home and stay happy, healthy. Fine. So Cambridge International School, the SUA is always with you regarding your studies. So if you're facing any kind of problem, you can give me a call or message me. I'll give you a call back. So we will learn in a better way, whether we are into the pandemic situation or any of the toughest situations. Your studies will not be affected by these environmental factors. So the most important thing is you need to pray for humanity so that we will be out of this pandemic very soon, and we will come back to school and enjoy learning as we were enjoying in the school earlier. So God bless you. Stay happy, healthy, and enjoy learning at home with Cambridge International School, the SUA.